clearly they are seeing a sign of defeat. They know that their own party is in shambles. Maharashtra BJP is in shambles. There's a fight for leadership. Then the alliances that they have brought in have become a liability rather than an asset. And how did they bring in these alliances? By breaking away two regional parties. Here's this modern day so-called Chanakya who loves the idea of being called the Chanakya, coming and saying kaise bhi karke 10% increase karao. Yani basically he's absolving himself of any responsibility. He's also distancing himself from creating the chaos that he's done in the state of Maharashtra by breaking away two parties. So this entire aura of, oh, he's the Chanakya of politics today stands exposed. We have prioritized that India needs to get rid of those people who are working against the idea of India, against the idea of democracy, against the idea of constitution. What was done in Maharashtra was adharm. And that is something that they are paying for through the Lok Sabha election, and they will pay for even in the assembly elections.
Who is in the driver's seat? You are sitting on a three-wheeler. And I found that very interesting. And that question was repeatedly being asked.
So, I mean, see, we are willing to take any questions. Will these senior journalists have the audacity to ask Eknath Shinde the same question? Will they have the gumption or honesty enough to ask Devendra Fadnavis the same question? Will they be able to ask an Amit Shah कि आपके मन में कौन मुख्यमंत्री है महाराष्ट्र के लिए, हरियाणा के लिए? They won't. Probably Amit Shah also won't know. People of Maharashtra are saying that if Eknath Shinde can backstab to come to power, backstab a political party which has probably given him a good platform, which saw his phenomenal rise, if he can backstab that political party, he can backstab the people of Maharashtra also.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Countdown to Maharashtra elections has begun, though the election dates haven't been announced. But the TV channels have started holding big conclaves to gauge the mood of the nation and have also started grilling the political leaders who are on the ground. So how are the odds stacked up in Maharashtra? What are the issues that will resonate in this election? Who seems to be having an edge? Joining me now is Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena Rajya Sabha MP Priyanka Chaturvedi. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for joining. It's wonderful to have you on HW News. And my first question to begin with, the dates haven't been announced yet, but people have already started talking about the fact that BJP somehow wants that the elections should get postponed. What is it that you are seeing on the ground? Is BJP really trying to derail the elections?
Absolutely. BJP should have announced an election through the Election Commission of India on the same dates as when Haryana was going for an election. That has been the trend. Haryana and Jharkhand and Maharashtra should have been going into an election together. Considering they have pushed back Maharashtra and Jharkhand and are having elections in Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir, that in itself, there are two things that I exposed. One, that they want to delay the process in Maharashtra as long as possible because they started a program called the Ladki Behan Yojana, where they are putting money in the accounts of women who are eligible. So they wanted to give it 3 months. And let's remember that this particular idea came up only after their loss in the Lok Sabha election. The second is that on one hand, the Prime Minister speaks about one nation, one election. The cabinet has, accepted the idea of one nation, one election. But today, Election Commission says they cannot conduct an election in Maharashtra and Jharkhand simply because there is election in Jammu and Kashmir after 10 years. So that in itself flies in the face of the red herring that they've set out, that one nation, one election is a possibility. So clearly they are seeing a sign of defeat. They know that their own party is in shambles. Maharashtra BJP is in shambles. There's a fight for leadership. Then the alliances that they have brought in have become a liability rather than an asset. And how did they bring in these alliances? By breaking away two regional parties. Mr. Ajit, who was considered the dawn of corruption, is now on their side. Ashok Chavan, who is considered the dawn of other scam, is on their side. All the corrupt people that they could bring, who they accused of and they had their narrative, is now on their side. And that is coming back to bite them. And that is why they're trying to push it as much as they can. They think that the Ladki Behan scheme would give them the same success that perhaps they got in Madhya Pradesh. But what they do not realize is that you have a very formidable opposition, an opposition which is fighting for democratic rights, constitutionality to prevail, and for the interests of Maharashtra.
But if I may ask you, Priyanka, that what makes Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi so confident? Because I heard Mr. Amit Shah also speaking at the Nagpur division yesterday, and he said that, and he's addressed his party workers saying that each of you will have to ensure that, 10% to 20% vote share increases for the BJP. Now, that is what the claim made by Amit Shah is. And I know you're already smiling, but what would you really say to these claims which are made by BJP? And you never know, Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed, everything works with them. And what about some backroom maneuverings if they do and they sail through? What are the chances?
We must firstly start exposing them for having no backroom strategy. Maharashtra is an indicator of that. Here's this modern day so-called Chanakya who loves the idea of being called the Chanakya, coming and saying kaise bhi karke 10% increase karao. Yani basically he's absolving himself of any responsibility. He's also distancing himself from creating the chaos that he's done in the state of Maharashtra by breaking away two parties. So this entire aura of, oh, he's the Chanakya of politics today stands exposed. There is no backroom strategy. Let's also get out of that feeling. Simply because the Lok Sabha elections have shown that the people are way smarter than any policy that they might put in place. The Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed was seen in Maharashtra when they broke away two parties, when they did away with constitutional morality. We are still fighting this case in the Supreme Court and still hoping that the Supreme Court will realize its responsibility towards the Constitution of India. Today, by delaying the decision on Maharashtra, what they're doing is effectively giving a tool to BJP to carry out the same process in any other states that they feel like. So there is one battle which we are fighting for the Constitution in the Supreme Court, and there's one, battle that we are fighting amongst the people. And the people have shown tremendous support for us in the Lok Sabha, and we are very certain. And I'm not overconfident, and I don't speak from a space of confidence ever. I'm only speaking from what I see on ground. And on ground, we are seeing every aspect of Maharashtra being trampled upon. All the industries going out of Maharashtra, the youth being extremely dissatisfied, the women not getting safety and security. I don't know if you were following the Badlapur protest.
Yes.
There were women who said, "Aap rakho apni 1500 rupees chahiye, nahi chahiye hame wo 1500 rupees, but give us, promise us Suraksha first." So Ladki Bahanchi Suraksha also is an important part in Maharashtra. The farmers of this country, of the state, they are in a bad shape. Then you have also, because of your caste equations, this Chanakya's caste equations, has led to crisis in Maharashtra. So there is a Maratha Andolan going on. There is an OBC Andolan going on. There's a Dhangar Samaj Andolan going on. And you're shamelessly also trying to create a Hindu versus Muslim. So all of this shows that there is no Chanakya. There was only one original Chanakya. And I'm sure till the time this Chanakya label was given to Amit Shah, he was turning around in his grave, because he was a man with principles and ethics. Here's a man with no principles, no ethics. So it's an insult to even Chanakya to call him that. But anyway, Mr. Amit Shah is here. He works as the brand ambassador for Maha Vikas Aghadi, because every time he comes here, he adds more votes to the Maha Vikas Aghadi. It is a fact that when in Lok Sabha, the Prime Minister Modi had campaigned in 18 constituencies. We won 16 of them. So every time they come here, it's the Maha Vikas Aghadi which is welcoming them. Telling them, "Aap jitna aayenge, hamare liye fayda hoga." That's how Maharashtra is looking.
Right. But Priyanka, coming to the seat sharing talks, we've heard and we've read that a lot of seats have already been finalized between your party, NCP, Sharad Pawar, and of course the Congress. But, there is a chatter in the political circles as to who is going to be the CM phase, because Nana Patole himself has made a statement saying in his own region, people have started clamoring for him being the CM face. Now, is there a decision? Is there a rift on this particular issue? Because a lot of people have started talking about that who's going to be the CM face of the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi.
In Haryana, they go to Randeep Surjewala and they ask him the same question. They go to Kumari Shelja, ask her the same question. They go to Bhupinder Hooda ji and ask him the same question. And they go to Dipinder Hooda and ask him the same question. Because media is just not realizing it, that whether it is the Congress party or their allies, we have prioritized not who's going to be the chief minister. We have prioritized that India needs to get rid of those people who are working against the idea of India, against the idea of democracy, against the idea of constitution. Maha Vikas Aghadi came together on the basis of how we will ensure that Maharashtra's interests are best safeguarded by keeping the constitution supreme. How keeping Maharashtra united and how we have to work only towards the development of Maharashtra while we continue to pursue our own individual political party ideology. Now, in here, we are all three parties are first very committed that we are coming together to basically put the moral compass back into place. You would have heard Shankaracharya ji when he visited Matoshri, where he said, अगर हम हिंदू धर्म का भी देखते हैं तो अधर्म हुआ है. उद्धव ठाकरे जी को निकालकर चीफ मिनिस्टर के पद से अधर्म हुआ है और वो धर्म को ठीक करने के लिए उनको वापस मुख्यमंत्री के पद पे बिठाना पड़ेगा. तो अब अपने हिंदू धर्म को भी ले लें कि if you look at our Hindutva principles also, Hindu policies also, Hindu way of living also, what was done in Maharashtra was paap, adharm. And that is something that they are paying for through the Lok Sabha election. They will pay for even in the assembly elections. So we have come together not with a Mukhyamantri kaun, but right now, Maharashtra ka hit kaun. तो महाराष्ट्र के हित में कौन, महाराष्ट्र के विकास के हित में कौन. So that is what we are doing, and we are all aligned, very beautifully aligned together with that belief. And whoever is decided will be the chief minister will do justice to the cause of Maharashtra. And let's not forget, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray ji's tenure was marked with his presence, where he was considered amongst the most popular chief ministers in Maharashtra. And any survey that even happens now, he stands apart from every single leader across political parties. So if there's an intense sentiment for the chief minister's face to be that of Uddhav Thackeray ji, we do not need to announce it, we don't need to say it, the numbers speak for themselves, and we will all work keeping that interest of Maharashtra.
But supposing, let's talk about a possibility, and people are talking about that supposing if Congress wins more number of seats, second number is of Uddhav Thackeray, then in that case, would Shiv Sena agree for a Congress CM? It's just a possibility that I'm asking.
No, yes. There are several possibilities. Again, please understand, our focus right now is not कौन मुख्यमंत्री बनकर आएगा. Our focus right now is कि पहले ऐसे लोगों को जिन्होंने संविधान को दरकिनार कर दिया हो, पन्नास खोखे के आधार पे सरकार बना ली हो, दिन रात करप्शन में डूबे हों, अत्याचार बढ़ रहे हों, पीड़ाएं बढ़ रही हों, आमदनी अठन्नी खर्चा रुपया हो रहा हो, ऐसे लोगों को पहले सत्ता बाहर करना है. और महाराष्ट्र भी हमें उसी दृष्टि से देख रही है कि वो सब आप लोग अपनी जो महत्वाकांक्षाएं हैं वो आप करते रहिएगा, पर पहले महाराष्ट्र को ऐसे लोगों के पापियों के चुंगल से हटाओ. तो इन पापियों के चुंगल से हटाने का काम हमारा है, जो हम करेंगे. और जो भी जनता हमें विश्वास देगी, जनता हमें निर्णय करेगी, जनता हमें सीट्स देगी, वो हमें स्वीकार्य है. उसके बाद निर्णय होगा. पर वो निर्णय सिर्फ मैं बार बार कहूंगी, शिवसेना का एक ही मानना है, वो निर्णय महाराष्ट्र के हित का ही होना चाहिए, महाराष्ट्र के विकास का, महाराष्ट्र को आगे बढ़ाने का. यही एक ही मात्र हमारा लक्ष्य है, हमारा गोल है.
You said a very interesting thing that the TV channels, they start asking Randeep Surjewala that who will be the CM, then they ask Bhupinder Hooda, and then they ask Kumari Shelja. But are these TV channels or the Godi media, if I may call them, are they deliberately posing these questions to get those kind of clips which can be made viral? And supposing you say something, because I was looking at the India Today conclave which was happening, and Prithviraj Chavan was being interviewed by the very senior journalist, and he was repeatedly being asked that who is in the driver's seat, you are sitting on a three-wheeler, and I found that very interesting, and that question was repeatedly being asked.
So, I mean, see, we are willing to take any questions. Will these senior journalists have the audacity to ask Eknath Shinde the same question? Will they have the gumption or honesty enough to ask Devendra Fadnavis the same question? Will they be able to ask an Amit Shah कि आपके मन में कौन मुख्यमंत्री है महाराष्ट्र के लिए, हरियाणा के लिए? They won't. Probably Amit Shah also won't know. You know why? Because they would want somebody who is a non-performer and who works as a puppet decided from the center. But Maharashtra doesn't want puppets. Maharashtra, from its history, if you look at its history, the warrior history that Maharashtra has had, has never decided on the basis of what Delhi thinks. Maharashtra has decided for its people on its own, by its own. So that is where we stand. So they can continue to ask us these questions, but people are now understanding how media works for the TRP.
So, my next question, of course, Priyanka, is that what do you think are the biggest issues which are resonating on the ground? I mean, people are angry with BJP, people are angry the way BJP tried to backstab Uddhav Thackeray. But on the ground, what are the things which people are really worried about?
So two things is very clear. One, that people of Maharashtra are saying that if Eknath Shinde can backstab to come to power, backstab a political party which has probably given him a good platform, which saw his phenomenal rise. If he can backstab that political party, he can backstab the people of Maharashtra also. The women are also looking at that perspective. So today he's giving us 1,500 rupees to get his votes, and there are many, बीजेपी मेंबर्स एंड शिवसेना मेंबर्स वर सेइंग कि हम तो लाड़की बहन वोट के लिए दे रहे हैं. They don't know what the future holds for them. 1,500 rupees in Maharashtra means nothing literally because of the amount of inflation that we are seeing. The school fees, everything's privatized. Everything. And so what are the problems, you ask me? One, the lack of faith in this political party and system that till yesterday, someone who was another scam Ghutala ka kingpin, he is now in your party in the Rajya Sabha. Then one of them is the deputy chief minister from NCP. So those are things which, that aside. Now, what are the problems facing Maharashtra? The unemployment is at its peak. Industries are moving out of Maharashtra. In fact, there are industries which have been long-standing working in Maharashtra, for example, the automobile industry. By not cooperating with your policies, you're pushing them away from Maharashtra, especially Pune belt. Then we've had the Prime Minister went and signed the the semiconductor units, etc. All the semiconductor units are coming out, going to every other state but Maharashtra. Why the step-brotherly treatment to Maharashtra? So what is happening, unfortunately? Women have an unsafe environment because law and order is totally, I would say, it's in a bad shape. The Home Minister is busy doing his politics, which is Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. In fact, if you would remember, there was a situation where in his own house, there was a fraud that was done, and there were people who were entering the house, had access to his house as the sitting home minister, and he had to go file an FIR to Mumbai police. Can you imagine? That's the level of security. If he doesn't understand that, what about the Aam Janata? So we've seen a whole spate of law and order crumbling under them. Then high rate of inflation, high unemployment. The farmers are unhappy. The youth is unhappy. Industries are moving out of the state. And the most important, people of Mumbai are also seeing how an entire city is being handed over to Adani, to one corporate house. A tender which was agreed on and won by him is now being changed and manipulated at the will of this corporate house. So we will not let our Mumbai go up for sale, because now they start with Mumbai, then they will go to other cities.
Right.
And Mumbai is not up for sale.
Right. You made a mention of the corporate houses and how just one particular corporate group is being given all the preference. Do you sense a wind of change as far as the thought process and the approach of the corporates is concerned? Because you are in Mumbai, and you think that the inclination of the corporates is also changing from BJP towards Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi?
Yeah, if you look at it, what has the businessman got? What have the industries got? So, there's a whole lot of talk and a whole lot of arm twisting to not say anything, to not contribute, to only say good things about the Prime Minister. But in reality, even our industrialists are suffering at the cost of one industrialist. So, इतनी दोस्ती मत करो कि तुम एक ही का फायदा करो, पूरे देश का फायदा करो ना. हम चाहते हैं 100 अडानी बने इस देश में, हम चाहते हैं 200 अडानी बने इस देश में. सिर्फ एक ही अडानी सर्विस सर्वा ना बनना है ना, जो उसके पास हमारे पोर्ट्स भी है, उसके पास हमारे एयरपोर्ट भी हैं, उसके पास हमारी एनर्जी भी है, उसके पास पावर भी है, उसके पास कोल भी है, उसके पास लैंड भी है. हम क्या क्या अपना उठाकर उसको दे देंगे. And I mean no disrespect to Mr. Adani, but the kind of favoritism that is being shown to him, and I hope he realizes this, is also antagonizing a whole lot of country. And that is the unfortunate part. So do your business, earn your money. Nobody is grudging you. Create employment, but not at the cost of my nation and not at the cost of my state. That is where I draw a line. So industrialists are facing that, small businesses are facing that, farmers are facing that. And I come from the city of Mumbai, and I'm very pro-market person, pro-industry person. And I would do everything to attract business to my state and to my city, but not at the expense of someone else's loss. I would do it to create an environment, an ecosystem, which Maharashtra already has, to strengthen it further, to invite new age industries, to look at the startup space, to look at the EV space, to look at various new fintech space, to look at hospitality space. There's just so much more we can do. AI space, data space, everything. So those are things that we're looking at, and this is how it should be.
But what do you think is the major reason why, despite the courts having pointed out the corruption and the kind of nexus which we see between BJP and Mr. Adani, BJP, it seems, and of course the Prime Minister and the Gujarat lobby, as what you say, they have just not been able to shrug themselves off from Adani. What is the reason? There are other corporate groups as well.
I'd love to know the reason. Because I'm sure there's some quid pro quo at work. There's definitely some quid pro quo at work, and we'll probably know once this government goes out of power and we start investigating all the single deals that have happened, some of the judgments that have come which are controversial, some of the judgments, I'll be trolled for this. I don't care, but I speak truth to power. That many of those have got plump positions post-retirement. So those are things which will probably go into an area of investigation. Nobody is Caesar's wife anymore. Everybody is part of the suspicious networks that have been created. How? Because, and I say this because agencies have been undermined. Today, a person who's a voter does not have faith in the Election Commission, as much as Election Commission may go to town talking about how transparent it is. When the Election Commissioner of India comes and he maros a shairi against the opposition, people are watching. People are watching how you have postponed elections in Maharashtra. So those are things, when you undermine institutions, there's no Caesar's wife who has to be above suspicion. Everybody is part of the suspicious network. We know because it's a matter of time.
You made a mention of the Election Commission, and in fact, I was coming to that question as my next question, that what is your worry? Because during the Lok Sabha elections, the kind of malpractices and the doubts and the suspicions which came into the minds of the people, do you worry that this could be repeated in Maharashtra Assembly elections as well? And how is your party, or rather Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, how is it really preparing itself so that, things don't go wrong as far as the Election Commission is concerned?
So we have been on our toes as far as Election Commission is concerned. And what I was also expressing is what voters are already concerned about. Voters are very concerned that does their vote reach to the person who they have voted to, or is there some manipulation? So the answering and transparency has to come from the Election Commission. And then, of course, postponing these elections and then saying, we can also do one nation, one election. Who are you cracking these jokes to? To the voter of this country. And then there's another question, people of Maharashtra's mind. We had, Shiv Sena, when it split, it was the Election Commission which had to decide who gets the election party name and symbol. Who's the original Shiv Sena, right? You cannot, and Schedule 10 is also very clear, and various other schedules of the Election Commission as well as the Constitution are very clear, that the 1/3 split that has, 2/3 split that has to happen from top bottom, not just legislative, but even your office bearers to right up to, those who are part of the national executive. We gave as many thrice the affidavits that probably Eknath Shinde could gather. And only on the basis of legislative strength. And legislative strength, who made these people MPs and MLAs? It was the same AV form that they collected from Uddhav Thackeray, and it was the party cadre which made them win. And only on the basis of that, Election Commission decided the party name and symbol has to go to them. So that also hasn't gone down well with the people of Maharashtra. Whether it was the NCP Sharad Pawar, and there's a founder member, NCP Sharad Pawar, in Sharad Pawarji's case, he's alive. He's very much there. And yet you've handed over the symbol and the symbol and the name to Mr. Ajit Pawar. So people in Maharashtra have questions of the Election Commission. They're wary of them. And now it is for the Election Commission to maintain its integrity, to maintain its, people's belief in the system, will have to live up to it. And that in itself is a warning to them that anything that they, do here and there. For example, Mumbai Northwest. I sit in Mumbai Northwest. Our candidate lost by 48 votes. On the EVM, he had won by 1 vote. And through postal ballots, which should have been counted in the morning, were counted in the evening, which were invalidated, were considered valid. And that person was made to win by 48 votes. So people are watching that. So we are also, of course, going to create our awareness. We are going to keep talking about it. But people in their own minds are also wary of how Election Commission has been punishing. It's at least in the case of Maharashtra.
Right. But when you move around and mingle with the people, when you interact with the people, do you think that BJP really has the face to even campaign? And I'm talking specifically about Prime Minister Narendra Modi. How is he going to face the people of Maharashtra? Does he have the gall to even face the people of Maharashtra, especially after all what has happened in the last few years? And now the tipping point, of course, being the Shivaji's statue, which fell in Sindhudurg.
And he inaugurated it. He inaugurated it in such a hurry before Lok Sabha elections, thinking that every time he stands beside the statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, I hate to say it, the IT cell used to compare him to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And that hurt the sentiments of the people of Maharashtra. So what has happened with the falling of the statue was also the falling of stature, or whatever little stature that was left of the Prime Minister and this particular government. That you all earned money out of even the statue. You all were careless even with the sentiments of the people of Maharashtra. He has been coming to campaign. In fact, he was here a couple of days ago. But like I said, every time they come to campaign, it works as like a brand ambassador for us. It works as a reminder that here comes that lobby that worked against the interests of Maharashtra, that broke two political parties, that was speaking of the aspirations and expectations of the people of Maharashtra. And here is a lobby which has taken away businesses from the state of Maharashtra to another state. And even now, when deals are being signed, decisions are being made, most of them go to Gujarat from the central government schemes. If not Gujarat, it's going to any other state but Maharashtra, despite having a double-engine sarkar. So, Mr. Modi is more than welcome. Please, every time you come, you add votes to Maha Vikas Aghadi, and you're working as a brand ambassador and a lucky mascot for us, so he can continue to come.
I cannot help but, resist myself from asking about what Kangana Ranaut said about the 3 farm laws yesterday. Then she apologized in the morning. There was a Gaurav Bhatia statement on the Twitter saying that, we are distancing ourselves from what Kangana Ranaut has said. That is not the party stand. And then after that, a whole lot of leaders from the Congress and several other leaders have said that apology is just not enough. You will have to expel Kangana Ranaut from BJP for what she has said. What do you really think about Kangana's thought process? Why she says it, then says sorry? Has she been given an ultimatum? That's why she's apologized, because Kangana is not a person who would apologize so easily.
No. Firstly, the country is now witnessing what Maharashtra already witnessed when the entire Sushant Singh Rajput case was being misled and misinterpreted, and a false narrative was being spread, and the captain was Kangana Ranaut herself. She tried to humiliate the chief minister then, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray ji. She said all kinds of nasty things. Her words, her language, her demeanor, her false narrative today all stands exposed now that she's a member of parliament. And probably she was gifted this ticket for being what she was, obnoxious as she was when she was in Maharashtra. We have seen it. We have witnessed it. I will not say much about the person simply because she's known to be a very controversial person, whether during her tenure as in the Hindi film industry to where she stands today. One thing is very clear. Every time a member of parliament of BJP speaks, they're speaking of what BJP thinks. For every time for you to call her out and then say sorry, but not take any action means it's also an endorsement of what she has been speaking. That there is a thought process in the BJP which believes what she's saying is right. That is why you gifted her a ticket, no? You got her to win. She's sitting in the parliament on the side of the BJP. So how can you just distance yourself? And what does distancing mean? Distancing means that you take some action against her. If you're not taking action, then these are mere words. ना वही जैसे 15 लाख का जुमला दे दिया, वो फिर अमित शाह ने आगे हमने तो जुमला दिया था इलेक्शन जीतने को. तुमने तो टिकट दी थी इलेक्शन जीतने को. How can you disassociate yourself? उससे क्या तो पार्टी से निकल जाए. Party se bedakal kar do. Let her be an independent MP, or let her be ask for her sacking. They won't do it because what she speaks and then which is dismissed later is actually the thought process, the thought bubble that she puts out there to experiment how people are looking at it. If there is backlash, then they will say, "Oh, she's just an MP, not a point of view." And if there is acceptance, then they will move forward with the same engagement.
So is BJP trying to use Kangana Ranaut as their trial balloon?
Yes, she's a trial balloon. She's a trial balloon. She's a trial balloon. She's not saying anything which is not what BJP really wants her to say. And she just distances herself because perhaps she feels, listen, when Smriti Irani ji was taking on Rahul Gandhi more than she was doing justice to her own ministry, she was doing it with the connivance of the political party, right? So the same way, what she's saying and doing is a thought process that is probably coming from the leadership. Listen, put it out there. और अगर चल पड़ा तो हम आपको प्रमोट कर देंगे, अगर नहीं चल पड़ा हम अपने आप को डिस्टेंस कर लेंगे, पर हम कार्रवाई कुछ नहीं करेंगे आपके ऊपर.
But has she also rattled? No, but Priyanka, has she also rattled the opposition? Maybe she's apologized. BJP is not backing her statements, but has this statement also, in a way, rattled the opposition? And now the opposition, of course, will be worrying that what if the BJP tries to bring in these farm laws, maybe through the back door? Again, they might try. Again, the corporates might be forcing the BJP to bring in these laws, and which is why she's making a statement and then retracting it later on.
No. Firstly, we're not rattled. We have fought this battle earlier too. We will fight this battle all over again. We are not rattled at all. What we are seeing is what BJP is, using her as a toolkit to put a message across and see. It's like a trial that they're floating. Ki idea dalo, dekho, people want to do it or no. So that we are not rattled. We are in fact alert. It alerts us to how BJP is thinking, and it gives us a chance to alert people of the country that this is what really BJP believes in. Then getting her to apologize and all that is too little too late. Distancing yourself is too little too late. She is doing it with active connivance of the BJP senior leadership. And it gives us a view into how they're thinking, what they're doing, and actually tells us that they still continue to believe in the idea of how to undermine the constitution. Right. Every time she opens her mouth, she's actually doing us a favor by exposing what is really running in the BJP strategy groups.
So which means that each time Kangana opens her mouth, it becomes a blessing for the opposition. She's an asset for the opposition.
Yeah, when she was speaking out in Maharashtra, we said the more she speaks, the more it helps us. Now it's happening with the opposition. So she should be, when we come to power, we'll probably give her the Padma Shri and the Padma Vibhushan. that probably she so deserves. She so deserves and has been denied by the BJP.
Right. So my last question to you, Priyanka, and I'll let you go then after this, so who seems to be having an edge, and what is the number of seats you're actually looking at out of 288 as far as Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi is concerned, and also the Mahayuti?
So Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, I'm not saying this from a point of overconfidence. I'm saying it from a point of confidence. Anywhere between 160 to 180 is what we're getting. And Maha Vikas, Mahayuti, I wouldn't want to even delve on the numbers. You've seen how the fall of the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections, where they are at 9 seats now from a high of 23 seats. They are at 9 seats now. So this is more or less how it will turn out even in the assembly elections. But when I say 160, 180, the balance, probably you can adjust with them. And there are also going to be some independents who are going to be winning on the other side. So that is how I see it. 160, 180, a stable government coming from Maha Vikas Aghadi with all the commitment that we have made to the people of Maharashtra, keeping the constitution supreme, keeping the democracy supreme, and also ensuring that the three-party alliance continues to work for the people of Maharashtra. That is my commitment to the people of Maharashtra. That is our commitment to the people of Maharashtra. And I say only from a point of commitment, point of belief in people's love for us. And that is what is going to come out in terms of outcomes. And like I said, let's hope for the best. This is where we stand today.
Okay, wish you all the best, Priyanka. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Stay ahead with our Cutting Edge News app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.